YouTube and hello Ninth Age community. This is Charles the Evershade Gaming, and I've got another Ninth Age battle report. This was a casual 4,500 point game between a friend of mine who's starting to play Sylvan Elves, and I've got my dragon out for just about one more fun round of gaming before probably going to wait till the end of next year to see what the dragon list looks like. We played Refused Flank and Capture the Flags for objective. One thing I don't shout out enough is the map pack. I really like the new map pack that came out this year. I love how it's got these thematic maps with a little bit of a description. So let's go ahead and read it. We played map B8 called the Shattered Bridge. We crossed. Actually, this is Warboss Urbal. Okay. We cross the bridge. We take the town. We win the game. We take the loot. We keep moving. Now Peaceborn want us to stop us. Break the bridge. Think Warborn can't swim? Think goblins not make bridges? We can't build boats. Extra challenge for all this time. Maybe some are returned to the sleep, and we wait to see them again. But we are not easily stopped. We will break walls, show strength, win with cunning. We are born of war, and this will be the best war yet. That was Warboss Urbal. Wow, wonderful reading. But yeah, I love the map pack. I love the thematic maps. I think all the descriptions are really fun. So this is the map we played. And here's deployment. So my opponent chose table sides and chose how to cut the board. And I deployed my whole host out front. I'll put the video, I'll put the lists in the description, but suffice to say I can go over it during deployment here. So I made some small tweaks to my dragon list that I played at Buckeye Battles. So mostly I feel like the biggest part was I changed how the core looks and I changed the special. So the characters are the exact same, just changed the other things a little bit. So in core, I have 6 Knights of the or Knightly Orders with lances, full command. I kept my rider unit the same, 5 riders with a champion, and they all have abrasive pistols. Champion's got the repeater pistol. Dragon's the same, Obsidian Rock, Lucky Charm. And I added militia in my core. Cosmo Wizard Master, naked, nothing up. That's it. Adept on Pegasus stayed the same. Destiny's Call, Dragon Staff, Alchemy, Steam Tank. 20 heavy infantry with, I want to say, champion musician. 24 Imperial Guard, sword and board. I can't remember what banner they had. I think maybe just a rending banner, your rending banner. And the BSB, I want to say, just has the Will's word on a shield. I think I was just able to afford that, so he's got a 2-up in combat. That's about it. 20 handgunners with full command, marksman pendant, champion with a repeater handgun, cannon, artificer with repeater handgun, 20 more heavy infantry, champion musician, I think, and another imperial giant with a giant club. So, looking at my opponent's deployment, on my back part of the field, my opponent was able to scout 8 of his Pathfinders. It was very poor deployment on my part to give him that space. Then, starting from his left on that hill, or behind that hill, he's got 5 Heath Riders. They're the scoring ones with shields. Then he's got a unit of, I think, 18 or so Rangers with I think they had the Vanguard, or I don't think they had Vanguard and +1 advance, because I don't remember them Vanguarding. Or if they did, they really didn't go very far. And then behind them on the hill, he's got 5 Heath Hunters with bows. He's got 8 more Pathfinders behind them. In the woods, he's got 24 or so Dryads with a Dryad Ancient. The Dryad Ancient's is General and Adept in Divination with the whatever upgrade gives the unit Lethal Strike. And then he's got 5 Thicket Beasts with his BSB Thicket Shepherd with the Oaken Crown. He's got, it's kind of hard to see, there's 2 eagles. One eagle is an Eagle King with a prince on it. The prince has got Titanic Might on Sylvan Blades. And in addition to that, it also has the Destiny's Call for 4 up. Might have the Dragonfire gem, but maybe not. But then probably not actually, because then it also has the 3d6 shots. I can't think what that's called. I want to say it's a C to something, but that's an upgrade on its, or that's just like the artifact that gives it that upgrade. Um, so yeah, you can kind of, it's kind of a little tough, but you can kind of see that's his Eagle King right there, and he's also got an eagle. And then he's got a Druid Master of Cosmology and 12 or so archers, too. So, pretty shooty Sylvan Elf list, but also, some decent combat threats between all those trees, and the Rangers can pack a punch themselves, too. So, this is going into Empire Sonnstahl turn 1. I move up my riders so I could take off some of the Rangers because I felt confident the dragon could go into that, especially if I can get a little magic off and do a little something that I could probably keep the dragon alive. I just needed to maybe do a little debuff on the Rangers, maybe a -1 strength or something like that, or put up a 5-up Aegis on the dragon. Either way, I felt confident I could win that and grind them out. And I liked how aggressive I was able to be with the dragon right there, because that also puts me in range to possibly get into those dryads, to get into his backfield, to threaten his archers. Maybe save my breath weapon to blow away some pathfinders or something like that. And so I just felt if the riders could kill a good chunk of them before they get to combat, that'll help. And otherwise, my line does not move up very much. My handgunners are gonna start working on the thicket beasts because you gotta beat them down. And my giant was able to be a little bit more aggressive on the flank. I moved my Pegasus Adept back so that I'm within range to breath weapon his pathfinders. I normally like to keep the dragon and him together, but I just did not like the idea of having 8 pathfinders in the back of my army for the entire game. So, yeah, I just felt like I was willing to sacrifice my dragon staff to try and kill a decent chunk of them. In the magic phase, I get Fireball. I only kill 1, which is a bit of a bummer. And then I get I think I must have tried a Unity Divergence, and I think my opponent dispelled it, or maybe I did get it off. Oh, I don't know. Looks like the one model gone, so either I did and it was really bad. And then I use the Dragon Staff, and I think I kill another one, so pretty dismal right there, unfortunately, for starting to try and get rid of those guys. The Riders turn up pretty good. It looks like they kill about 5. That's very helpful. Takes out a nice chunk of attacks. And then my handgunners shoot, and looks like they kill a whole thicket beast and put 2 wounds on another. So that's very solid for a good round of shooting. Oh, I think the cannon might have shot at them too, because I couldn't see the Eagle Boy. So the cannon shot 2. So I think that was between the cannon and the handgunners. Did about 5 wounds to the thicket beast. So I will take that. That's solid. So my opponent goes. He's going to take care of the riders, and he's going to try and beat down on the dragon. And then otherwise, he is able to move his pathfinders out of charge range of my wizard adept. So that was he had passed a march block check, and that was a good move for him. He's kind of got he's got his eye on that cannon for sure. And then he moves his Eagle Boy up aggressively so that he's within 15. He's going to launch out his 3d6 shot, see if that can also take care of the cannon. And other than that, the Dryads move forward to start, threatening some stuff. The Thicket Beasts, I think, more turn. They didn't want to move too far forward, give a flank charge for the Giant. And, you can see the Druidism Master has moved over to provide some cosmology buffs for the Rangers. And, that's about it, really. He can't remember what div spell. Oh, that's right. He puts Guiding Light on the Eagle Boy because he's able to get Stars Align off on these guys, which I did not want to let go, but I feel like my biggest target was Perception of Strength. He also gets Union Divergence off, which again I didn't love, but need to stop perception of strength, which I do end up doing that. Yeah, 3d6 shots into the cannon, pulls it off. Turn one for my opponent, so that was very good for him. And then we go into his shooting phase. He puts 3 wounds on the steam tank between both Pathfinder units. So that was, I thought, pretty dang good actually for 16 shots at the -3 armor save. So pretty dang good if I do say so myself. I think the giant takes a wound from those other core archers. And then we go into this combat here. The Heath Hunters have no issue killing the riders. I think they didn't kill them and they had to pursue, so that's why they are sort of sitting in a not a great spot. And then I forgot to mark this one, but I do some decent damage and my opponent only puts 3 wounds on me. So I think we either tie combat or neither of us broke. So we ended up sticking around. So that kind of went well for me, I felt. In my turn two, I decided to charge my Imperial Guard into the Prince. And I've kind of seen this before where if I can go in there and get even just a little bit of combat res against him, it's kind of easy to break him, honestly, because he's only light troops. And he's only, I think, AP 2. So even if I put my BSB in there, I got a 4-up. I've kind of seen it just where that's the where I've played with the Eagle Boy in the past, and that's usually the way I deal with him is just sort of give him a little break with combat res. And my opponent didn't feel like getting tied down at that point, so he decides to flee. And I take some DTs. I lose 5 Imperial Guard, and actually noticeably, I lose my champion too. So that was a little annoying, but that's what happens there. We readjust the line. I was able to move aggressively with the giant. Since Eagle Boy is fleeing, I wanted to try and really push on these archers because we are playing Capture the Flags. So need to try and get those. And then the Artificer did come out to chaff the... I put on the double on him, and he comes out, makes a nice big chaff move to block up those Dryads. I think the cannon, I think the steam tank doesn't move. I'm within 18 inches of something probably, and I just don't necessarily want to get too close to those Dryads just yet. The only other major significant things is I was able to put my knights into the Rangers, which it looks like I only killed maybe 3. So I want to say my opponent might have won combat, and I was able to stick. Yeah, maybe it was I can't remember. Either way, the dragon's still there, and the knights come in, and I'm pretty confident now that between them, with their rank, we're going to be able to break those guys, which will be helpful because they're a scoring unit, and then I'm going to be able to get into another scoring unit with the knights, and that's I'm very happy about that. I move my wizard adept. He's able to march. I kind of move him over. And might silver spike those guys. Maybe put the armor buff on the dragon. Not sure yet. My opponent, he has 2 binding scrolls on this list, both on his druid master. So he actually binding scrolls Unity of Virgins this round, which was nice for him. I get touch of the heart, and I take a wound off the dragon, which is nice. And then I do get perception strength off this round to lower my opponent's strength. I think I tried previously and I couldn't get it. And then we get a fireball over here, and it kills 3, and I want to say these guys flee, but I don't think they're off the board. So I think I might have tossed a silver spike at them too, which maybe I just was running out of spells, and maybe I wasn't worried about the dragon. I don't know, but either way, I think they're there, but then I want to say in my opponent's next turn they don't rally. That's what I believe happens, because I know that's the end of them in this game. And yeah, I think the handgunners don't really do a whole lot to the thicket beasts, so we just go right into combat. Yeah. Oh, you know what we do is we kill that eagle in the forest. The handgunners might have shot at it instead, actually. Maybe long range. Well, actually, they had it accurate at the start. Maybe they might have took them off. Might have shot the cannon at the eagle in the back, maybe try to put some wounds. I could see that. That's probably what happened. Combat goes well here. I don't take any more wounds on the dragon, and the knights help me break the rangers. We pursue them down, and the knights get to go into these heath riders. So very happy about that. That was a great turn right there. And this is my end of my turn 2, going into my opponent's turn 2. He charges the Artificer. He moves pretty aggressively with his Thicket Beasts. He chaffs my Giant with his other Heath Rider unit so that I can't go into the Archers. And he rallies his Eagle Boy. And he just kind of pulls back with his Druidism Master. I have a long charge. Maybe like an 11 on the dice, but I am on a hill, so who knows? I might take it. And yeah, that's what we're looking at right there. In the magic phase, I know one of the spells that does go off is he does get Truth of Time on my dragon, which is pretty rough because at that point I'm basically I can't probably even charge. It's just too many dice. And in the shooting phase, he puts 5 more wounds on the giant with his archers. So the giant's sitting at 6 wounds, which I also did not really like that at all. And I believe my opponent puts 2 more wounds on my dragon, too, which I did not like that either. So between Truth and Time and that, I was not very happy. Artificer sacrifices himself valiantly for the Empire. Yep, there you can see the wounds on the dragon. So I got 4 on me. And I think I had Truth and Time on me. Or maybe I did stop Truth and Time, but then maybe I let another spell go or something like that. Either way, this is what we're looking at. And the Knights do clean up the other Heath Riders, and then they just reform to be kind of safe behind the hill for this turn, maybe. And this is definitely going to my magic phase, so we're going to miss a little bit of my movement, but I think we'll catch up. So here we are into the Empire Sonnstahl turn 3. So since the Artificer died, the Steam Tank moves forward to go fight these Dryads, which again, normally this isn't that bad of a fight, but they have the Lethal Strike, which is just rough. You never know how many they're going to roll. And they're only needing 6s to wound. So yeah, don't really like that. Otherwise, I kind of have to, unfortunately, I couldn't make any charges this turn. I really wanted to charge the dragon into the last unit of Pathfinders. I think it was an 11 on the dice or so, but I was honestly just pretty worried about the stand and shoot. And taking 2 more wounds, and that being it. And so I decided to play conservatively. And I just pulled the dragon back. I moved my wizard over. He's within 36. He's going to try fireball, but he's not going to fireball. And yeah, other than that, yeah, we're sort of just kind of trying to surround these thicket beasts. We use the giant as chaff too because, yeah, I don't know. I just felt that if I go in, I was worried about going into those Heath Hunters, and he gets to go first with 2 or 3 guys, and I was thinking he might just poke the giant to death, so I figured why not just chaff for a round instead. I get Unity Divergence off on the Steam Tank. I do a Silver Spike and put 3 wounds at Eagle Boy. Happy about that. And then I think we shoot, and I think we just do another wound maybe on these guys, so nothing crazy, unfortunately. And this is going into my opponent's turn. He puts Perception of Strength on his Dryads. He heals a wound off his Eagle Boy, and you can see Eagle Boy moved up on the hill. And Eagle Boy kills a knight with his bow, just 1 shot. And the Thicket Beasts beat up the giant and overran into these guys who held with their steady men. All right, so this gets us back to looking at the movement phase. So this is Empire Sonnstahl turn 4. So since I had moved my dragon back, it was pretty safe for a turn. But I mean, he's trying to move around that big impassable piece and trying to get a shot at me. And Steam Tank, I think, took another 2 wounds in combat, unfortunately. Just couldn't make 5 up Aegises against the Lethal Strike. And, it does okay. I don't know, Dryads are kind of, it's not a great fight. not a great fight for the steam tank in general, but it's even worse with the lethal strike. Yeah, so we end up actually we have lethal. We do two things in this turn on turn 4. The Imperial Guard go for it and charge the Thicket Shepherd and his unit of Thick Beasts, and we take 5 more DTs. Of course, this ruin in the middle is just murdering these Imperial Guard. But I'm mildly hopeful that I can just hold up this unit for a while, and maybe only lose one scoring unit in the process. That was my hope. And then, because at this point I got 2 of my opponent's scoring units, he has 0 mine, so I can sacrifice a couple. And I move so knowing that, I move another 20 heavy infantry, and they have steady men on them, and they are going to chaff in case the steam tank dies, because I only got 2 wounds in the steam tank. I'm more concerned about the dragon dying, so I'm more concerned about putting Touch of the Heart on the dragon. Um, and yeah, that's pretty much what we're looking at. I had to pull back with my militia, so I think the Eagle Boy might have a long charge against them, but that's about it. And I was able to move my adept close to Eagle Boy because I'm just trying to spike his ass. And I spike him, and I spike him. And then in this combat, my BSB goes first, and he remarkably puts 2 wounds on the Thicket Shepherd. So I see this and I think, well, hot damn, I should probably just see if I can kill this Thicket Shepherd. And the most ridiculous shit happens, and I kill the Thicket Shepherd. So that was cool. So then the Thick Beasts go, they do like good 5 wounds, but we just break them. I've never seen that happen before. I've never seen Thicket Shepherds just fold like that. I mean, my opponent didn't make a single Aegis save. I only barely just did enough wounds, and he made 0 Aegis saves. So it was kind of garbage, but I will take garbage. Steam Tank dies, and everyone holds steady. I mean, I've got nice Discipline 9 bubble around this area, so nobody panics, but I mean, that was bound to happen. And then in my opponent's turn 4, the Dryads, who definitely need to start picking up some scoring units, go into these guys. These guys, I believe, charged me from a decent way back, which was fine. I thought that was a good move on my opponent's part too. This is a scoring unit. I moved them up aggressively the last turn because I was able to get past the Eagle Boy, and I wanted to try and threaten. Because even if one knight can get into, like one of those Pathfinder units, there's a good chance he could stick around there for a while and just maybe grind them out, maybe just hold them up for a while. But this was a good move by my opponent, charging in here. And yeah, this is what we're looking like on my opponent's turn 4. I want to say the Pathfinder is able to get a shot, and they put another wound on the dragon, so I'm up 5, we don't love that. And these other archers were able to poke 4 wounds off that other unit, but thankfully they don't panic. And then this combat goes okay. I kill 3 of him. He kills 1 of me. I think I had a 3-up armor save against everything, so that's pretty good. He's just had a little trouble getting through that, and I had 3 attacks. And the horses I think might have done a wound. So I think this ends up being a push. 1 wound, 3 wounds, charge, banner. Yeah, I think I might have actually won by 1, but he stuck. So that was helpful for him at least. Yeah, these guys get creamed, but my opponent did have to pursue them. He didn't wipe them out. And he does pursue them, and he catches them, but he ends up in a tricky little spot here on my turn 5. So my turn 5, seeing a juicy opportunity for a flank charge, I take it, and I bring my light infantry in so they can provide some ranks, and I bring my dragon in so he can actually do the damage. And you can see I charged my wizard adept into the Pathfinders, who took only 1 wound, so I was pretty happy about that. And that was it's probably like a good 16 or 17 inch charge. So I know I was outside of the strength 4 range, but he did have AP3, so I feel like I was pretty fortunate to only take one wound. But again, I feel like if you can just get into these archer units with anything a little bit higher res and like with a couple attacks, you should be able to just hold them up at the very least. So my Imperial Guard turned to try and follow up with what the Wizard's doing. My other unit of heavy infantry just sort of back up, and they're going to try and get behind that building. They've got steady men on them from the BSB, so they shouldn't panic. And yeah, just sort of moving around to make sure I got some magic range with my cosmology. A very good magic phase here. Take a wound off the dragon, which is now I'm not giving up half points, and I put unit diversions up. So very happy about that. This grinding keeps slogging. We kill one each. I guess that's a push. Yeah, look at those two dueling off, baby. I want to say go in here and don't do any wounds, but I win combat with a charge, and my opponent flees, and he goes like 10 inches, and I think I go like 2 or 3. So that's okay, not the end of the world. It's just good that they're fleeing. And then we fight this one. Nobody dies. Nothing. Push. And then nice big swing here. Pick up another scoring unit, and we end up beating these guys up. And I want to say my opponent did 1 wound with lethal strike, and I made a 5-up Aegis save. So, yeah, I would have died if I didn't have such a good magic phase. I'll tell you what. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Yeah, so that was very good. The dragon pursues them down, and then the heavy infantry, the light infantry actually turn because I think they could maybe shoot those archers on the back of the board, maybe long range, 24 inches. Looks like it. So this is going into Emperor Sonnstahl turn 6. So on my opponent's turn 5, the Pathfinders rallied with the Wizard Master in it. And they just kind of turned and faced their doom with the Imperial Guard. But I'm just losing Imperial Guard left and right. I think they take a stand and shoot, they lose some wounds, and then they take a couple more wounds in the train. So I'm down to like 8 Imperial Guard, or maybe like 12 Imperial. I've lost a lot. I think I got 10 left. And yeah, we get Word of Iron up to not lose anymore. And then I think this is the handgunner shooting. They kill a couple of these guys. And then on my last turn, and then this combat wraps up, and we win combat, but we do not catch the Pathfinders and the Wizard Master. They do get away, and they actually end up rallying. And that night, and that one Heath Rider is still in combat. They just keep not doing anything, and those archers are still alive. I think the last thing my opponent does is see if he can kill the Imperial Guard, and I think the only thing I had to stop was a touch of the heart, and then they do have a 1-up armor save, so he shoots, but he just can't get through them. But they are giving up half points. There's 4 of those guys left, but they had a victorious game, so this is where we end. So this game wraps up an 18-2 Empire Sonnstahl victory. And yeah, just fun game. Very surprising twists and turns. I got very lucky at some big points. Very lucky with that last magic phase that saved the dragon from dying. Didn't get killed by the dryads. Got the most insane luck killing a thick shepherd with a martial BSB with the hand weapon, and some sort of important Imperial Guard. So, very fortunate for that. Everybody, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon for another 9th Age Battle Report.